So let's see who's coming up here. Debbie Jam. All right, Debbie. Debbie Jam wants to be in the video. And then who was just on here? Was that Debbie or was that? We're still waiting for Beth to come up here. Thank you for coming back. I don't know. That was just so weird. And then we have Cameron is here. Debbie Jam. And I think it's Cameron. I'm going to. Well, we'll see. Okay, we'll see what happens today.
Yes, ma'am. I'm back.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
That was the weirdest thing
Yeah,
that I
it get
couldn't,
kind of
when I
treacherous out here
pressed
sometimes.
it, couldn't get it. Cameron, how are you? So nice to see you.
I'm
How
great.
can
How
I
about
help
you?
you?
Uh,
Anything having to do with comedy.
I
Anything else
actually
I
read
know
your
shit
book.
about.
I
Go
read your
ahead.
book. I read
What?
your book. I read your book.
I
Yeah,
wrote 9 of them. Which one was it?
I think I read the very first comedy Bible when I first started comedy, March 10th, 2025. And I'm
Wow.
headlining this September. I'm headlining this September.
Okay, so you read my book and now you're a
Yes.
headliner. Hey, do you
Yeah, I'm a
think you would put
headliner.
that on an Amazon review? That would
Yeah,
be
I will.
awesome.
I
Let
will.
me
I
ask
will.
you something though. Seriously.
Yes.
What, like, because you read it a really long time ago and now you've become a headliner.
Yes.
What was a takeaway that you found from that?
Um, at first I was having a hard time. I mean, I'm still new, so I'm still finding my voice. I was trying to find a way to take my life and make it relatable. So things that I thought was funny might not be funny to somebody else, and I had a hard time like finding the balance. And a comedian I knew referred the book to me. He
Well,
referred
isn't
the
that
book to
true?
me.
Isn't that true? You know, when we all start off, we have these funny things that happen to us, and we usually tell our friends this funny thing that happened, and then I pooped in front of everybody. It was so weird. Anyway, and then everybody laughs, and then you do it on stage, and it's crickets, right? And then you end with, oh, I guess you had to be there. Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I can see all by the loves coming up that has happened to all of us. The thing
Oh
that
yes,
we
one
think
hundred
is
percent.
funny, our friends think are funny, to a group of strangers is not funny, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
how did you then find material that would connect to an audience and turn you into a headliner?
I start speaking about my fears. That's what works for me. Things that
What's
like scare me.
scary?
Yeah,
What's
what's scary
scary?
to me. So
Because
like
those are the four
fears.
attitude words. You know, what's
Exactly.
hard, what's weird, what's stupid, and what's crazy. And I mean,
Exactly.
what's scary. And when Beth comes on, she's going to be talking about what she did with abortion was take the word. She starts with, "I'm from Ohio," and they're passing a law saying that whoever has an abortion will be thrown to jail. And then she
Yeah.
starts hitting the word weird onto it, which gives her so much material. Far
Yes, exactly.
beyond what happened to her, which she doesn't even mention. She never
Yeah.
even mentions that, did she have a boy? Who cares? It's not about her. So what I realized, and I hope you did too, that it's really not about you. It's about your topic, right?
Exactly.
So what stuff
Exactly.
do you feel like scares you that you talk about? What's the one joke that you tell that audiences really connect with?
Um, I have it's about being in a relationship for a long time and how your woman tells you that you're not attractive anymore without being rude about it. Is that, or I talk about my son being on the spectrum because a lot of people deal with that. So I talk about my problems that I deal with on a day-to-day
Now,
issues.
can you tell
So,
me, like, because that's a tough topic, your son being on the spectrum, because
yes, ma'am.
you can't like he's like weird, and I'm gonna make
Yeah,
jokes about
exactly.
him. It's like
Yeah,
it's walking
exactly.
a delicate tightrope. So, can you tell me one of the jokes you tell about your
Yes,
son? Let me hear
yes.
it.
So I have a setup where I come on stage and I say, in my moving forward in my life, I'm taking my son off the spectrum because I don't like the responsibility it takes to take on this task. Because people are always asking me questions like I know the answers, like I'm a doctor. You know, my son covers his ears in public because he doesn't have his headphones. And somebody will ask me, hey, my daughter, she covers her ears too. Does that make her autistic? And I say, well, I don't know, nigga. Maybe she don't want to hear you talk. If you shut up, maybe she can cover her ears. And then I say I take my son to Chuck E. Cheese so we can have a good time. And then they say, oh man, your son don't look autistic. And I look around and I say, well, son, can you show me what an autistic look like? He obviously think we trying to get in for free. And my son's an asshole because he is. So he comes to me, looks at me, and takes an 85-piece train track set out of his pocket and stack it on top of each other real fast. And I'm like, God damn it, you're not supposed to show him for real. You're not supposed to do that. Why would you do that? And I've learned through my son being autistic that me and his mom make the chromosomes of him. So that means one of us are autistic. And when the doctor told me that, I said, oh yeah, it's me. I've always been a little off. I've for sure been off for sure. My mom told me I didn't talk till I was 6.
Right.
So
And now you're making up for it.
Yeah, now I'm
Right.
making up for it exactly.
Okay.
So
Well, I want to congratulate you on really
thank you.
talking about something that's personal, difficult to talk about, the difficult line. And I love that you target stupid things that other people say about your son or stupid
Yeah,
questions that they ask. Because no matter what your topic is, there is a way to approach it where you're not punching down. Okay, where
yeah,
you're not
exactly.
punching down on something. But I'd highly suggest, have you ever done comedy or spoken or done a keynote about what you've learned, like a funny keynote at on autism or in a forum about autism or sharing with other parents of autistic kids on
Yeah.
TikTok or anything like that? Have you done
I don't do
that?
as much as I should. I normally use the stage to spread my awareness for the most part. I could dive
Yeah.
into something like that
Well,
though. I
here's
really
the
should.
thing. You have such a huge outreach when you use just your phone, just talking
Yes, ma'am.
to it, and talking to other parents of autistic kids. I happen to follow a lot of them because I grew up with a sister who wasn't autistic, but she was
Oh,
severely disabled.
okay.
And so I don't know why, but TikTok seems to know my algorithm. It's like
Nah,
my
for real.
deepest inner
They be
secrets.
listening. They be
Yeah,
listening. You know, they be listening.
they just know there's something about disability that, you know, I'm interested in, and I am because that was my childhood growing up that
Yes,
way.
ma'am.
And so I just would love, I want you to think in terms of on TikTok, not like going, I'm going to do my stand up on
Yeah.
TikTok, but I'm just going to talk right to the camera and just tell you, okay, when you have an autistic kid, here are three stupid things people are going to say to you.
Nah, for real.
Then you go, I'm a comedian, and believe me, this is material in my act. And you're going to start getting a following. And I think that would be really, really powerful. So,
That's
really
some
good
good advice.
talking to you. Really good. I hope
Yes,
you take my
absolutely.
advice. I think it's good advice. Okay.
I think it is too. I think it
All
is
right.
too.
And I'm gonna bring up someone from Mexico now. Thank you so much. Just click
Thank
right
you.
in the upper right corner.
Yes,
And
ma'am. Thank you so much.
hi, Silva.
Hi, Judy. How are
So good
you?
to see you.
So good to see
What
you. Super
city are you
exciting.
in?
I'm in Mexico City. I'm from Colombia and I do stand up in Spanish.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I
this is
need to
amazing
have my
because we've
book
read your book.
translated into Spanish.
Yeah, they've translated to a lot of languages, and every single workshop in Latin America begins with your book.
But did they plagiarize it? Because I'm not getting any. Anyway, let's not go there.
I hope not.
Anyway, I would love to hear what workshops are using my book, and maybe I could get it published there. That would be really wonderful. That
Yeah, no, I
before
mean
I'm
they talk
dead,
about your
I need
book
to do
and then
that.
we buy it. And we have them all. Like seriously.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
So your husband bought me my book. He
sure.
said he's so sweet. He seems
Yeah,
like he's a lovely man. And
yeah,
he said, can you Judy sign a book for my wife?
yeah.
And she'd be so thrilled. And I'm going like, oh my God, I have to send something to Mexico. That's
Yeah,
like too big of an ask. I have to go to a
yeah.
post office. I mean, getting a book and say, okay, but I have to go to post. Then you have to go through customs, and then you have to figure out how many stamps. And I went, I can't do it. But
That
bring
was too
Silver
much.
on, and I will personally help her write a joke.
That's amazing.
That is
That's just
amazing because I want to
amazing.
tell you right here on my Insta Live here, there are incredible comedy writers.
They
I
are.
have
They
to
are.
tell you, I am sort of um, blown away by the talent that are my followers. Like I'll
Yeah.
put out like write a joke. They come up with amazing punchlines. And so I'm here to go, how can I help you guys make some money because you're
Yeah.
so funny. And I think we all have a lot of psychological problems of imposter syndrome. I'm not good
Sure.
enough. I need to wait. We freeze up. All this stuff. So I'm going to help people with that because I'm creating a new class, which I'm going to announce soon.
I
So
love it.
let's give us some kind of setup or some
Okay.
kind of idea, and we're going to all join in, and we're going to be writing you some bam 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 bam
This is
laugh
amazing.
every
I
10
love it.
seconds. Let's hear it. Go ahead.
Okay,
What do
so
you got?
for my next show, I'm working on something about the algorithm. I feel that Instagram's algorithm, like this new generation, is supposed to be atheist, but it really is not because its new god is the algorithm. We want to please the algorithm. We want to be nice to the algorithm. We complain about the algorithm.
Okay,
We want
I like
everything for
this.
the
I
algorithm.
love this. So,
Yeah,
when we're writing a joke, sending Bibles, you're so right, Terrell. I should get us to sending Bibles. I think it's tactically gospel sending Bibles to people. Anyway, so let's just talk about when someone does a joke. I try and think how are we going to start it because we have to have a turn. So I don't think we should start about the algorithm. I think we should start talking about like, what do you call young people in Mexico? Do you call them Gen Z? Do you call them what do you,
Millennials and Gen Z, right? Yeah.
Gen Z? Okay, just start. Do you know, religion has so changed, hasn't it? Do you know it's weird?
Yeah.
Religion has really changed. Okay, so let's start about how it's so weird. Like younger people, they just pray differently.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Now
that.
do it. So it's a surprise that now I want the act out. So all I think when I write a joke is how do I get to an act out? And then how do I like switch what people are thinking? People pray so differently. So put your hands together and you're going to do a prayer to the algorithm. Let's hear what it would be like.
Okay, yeah. So the algorithm times are perfect.
No.
Yeah.
You're on your hands and knees before bed giving a prayer.
Okay.
What would it stand out?
Please, algorithm, let me have more views, and I will not mention the FIFA World Cup never again. So
Please send me the right hashtags.
yeah, please send me the right
Please, I
hashtag.
beg to the gods of tagging that I am tagged by someone with 1.5 million viewers. Dear algorithm, please know me and show me the way.
Show me the way. Show me how to collaborate wisely.
Yes, I think that's funny. So you don't mention
Okay.
algorithm setting it up because that's the punchline. Does that make sense?
Okay, that makes sense. So you're
Yeah,
thinking
it's
on
so
the
weird,
act out.
young people. You young people, uh, I know you're still religious, but you pray. It's so weird. You pray in such a different way.
Okay,
And
I love that.
then you just jump into the act out there.
Okay, I love that.
And you
I love
go,
that.
dear algorithm. Okay, Dean Lewis, who's having classes now, is amazing. If a prayer to the algorithm answered, don't lose faith. It's just buffering. That's funny. So that's the tag at the end of the joke. By the way, if your prayer to the algorithm goes unanswered, don't lose faith. It's just buffering.
Yes, I
Boom.
love this one. The one that Blinky sauces. I light a votive candle to Selena. I like that one. Or please make me an
Okay.
influencer.
Dear
I just
God,
don't want to go
dear
back to work.
algorithm, make me an influencer.
Please, algorithm,
Please,
multiply my
dear
followers.
algorithm, multiply my followers into a flock as large as Jesus's. Dear, just like,
I'll read your terms and conditions every night.
just like God. If you want, pray to God. Yeah. If you have a bad, you curse out God. Yeah. If you blame God, yeah. God.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I
I
really
love
love it.
that. I really love that. And now we have one joke on the algorithm, like that people actually pray to it. It's become the new God. What else? What other setups? Now, when we do a setup, we're not trying to be funny. We're just trying to go, what's hard, weird, scary, or stupid about, let me just see. I'm just checking to see if Beth is here yet. What's hard, weird, scary, or stupid about this? What else is weird about it?
So linking it with the emotion, I recently started to hate my algorithm. I hate it
Because why do you, what?
because yeah, because everything that I see on Instagram is just depressing or funny in a bad way.
Oh, okay. So what's weird is what?
It's weird how the algorithm shows me
Doesn't, no,
more.
the same thing you're talking about, but that's what happens. It's dark and
Yeah,
weird. That is what is, but that's not a premise yet.
yeah,
What is, it's weird is when your algorithm doesn't get you.
okay, yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
doesn't
That's
get
true.
you.
That's true.
You know what? I tell you, I had I don't know, a friend of mine used my computer, this guy, and next thing you know, I'm Amazon said, "Hey, if you liked how to get an erection, you're going to like, something. You're going to," and now I'm getting Viagra act. I don't have a penis. Hello, I
I
don't have a
love it.
penis. It's like
I
when
love it.
somebody uses your phone and
That's
then it
good.
screws up, right? It's like, what are you sending me this? I don't have a dick, okay? And I think that's funny. So you got to go,
That's
what's
funny.
hard, what's weird, what's scary. So it's
That's
really
good.
weird when it
Yeah.
gets it wrong. And then, it's kind of a little scary. I'll
Hmm.
give you see, I don't go in what happened. I go to my emotion. You know what's scary?
Yeah.
When like TikTok knows you better than your husband.
That's good. That's a really good
Isn't that
premises.
good?
Yeah,
It's
that's really
like,
good.
and all of a sudden you're in a fight with your husband, and what do you say?
Let me see your algorithm.
No, you're in a fight with your husband,
Oh
and
yeah.
and you're really upset because your algorithm knows you better than your husband. So what do you say?
Well, at least my algorithm knows I'm depressed and I
Yeah.
need better help.
My algorithm knows I'm depressed. Why don't you? So when
Yeah,
you say I'm in
exactly.
a fight with my husband, the act out has to be you shouting at your husband. You
Okay.
can't just go, it has to be like a fight. I think that's a
Okay.
funny
Okay.
joke as well. I think all of this material will get laughs every 10 seconds.
Yes, for the
I'm
tight
kidding. People
fight.
gave me a lot of shit because people gave me a lot of shit because I did a post and I said, oh, you got to get a laugh every 10 seconds. Well, that's not true. And then I showed Beth Stelling's where she was getting like a laugh in 3 seconds, a laugh in 7 seconds. And then people go, that's bullshit. It was the laughs were added. And
Yeah, oh my
then
God.
I just kind of went, you know what? I love comics because that's how comics think. Bullshit. Like whatever you say to a comic
About everything,
about
everything in the
everything.
world. Yeah, that's true.
That's
That's
why
true.
open mics, if you get, when you're doing an open mic for other comics and you even get like a giggle, that's a friggin' standing ovation to normal people. I'm just going to tell you that because we comics scrutinize everything. It's
We
our
do.
nature. And that's why we're comics because we didn't do that. Our head would explode and we just get depressed. So
That's so true. That's so true. And you're getting out of the open mic depressed either way.
anyway, so Silva, I hope I helped you.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did.
Thank you so much. Just in the upper right corner. Okay. And so I am pretending to sign your book for you. And
Yeah, please.
and please keep it up. Just keep to the formula of like what's hard, weird, scary, stupid, get to an act out. If everybody here says that to themselves and kind of cuts out the story part, you will be writing stand up because I want to talk about the creative process now. But thank you so much. It was so
Thank you
great meeting
so
you.
much for having me.
What city do you live in?
Yeah, I'm in Mexico City right now. Are you ever planning going outside the States? Like to
Yes.
show your
Funny you
book, to do a
mentioned that.
show? Yeah.
Guess where I'm going? September 11th, I will be in
No.
Budapest. Then after
Okay.
that, I'm doing a workshop in Toulouse. I will be at the Budapest Comedy Festival. Then I will
Wow.
be in Toulouse. Then I'm going to be in Paris. And then hopefully I'm going to be doing workshops in the UK.
Okay.
I love Mexico. I go there 3 times a year. And so why don't we arrange for a workshop
That
in
would be amazing.
Mexico City?
Yeah, like comics here are really fan like of yours, and
Okay,
if
well
you do a comic workshop, it would be like
let's do a
great.
workshop. Why
Yeah.
don't you email me and let's set up a workshop in Mexico City? Everything starts here. Like this
Yeah.
is like for me to connect with all of you, and then I'm going and now I'm going to like I realize how much I love the connection with other comics. So I really want to. I'm going to be doing private consults. Only 3 of
Nice.
them a week, but you can sign up on my website, and I'll send an email about that because I know a lot of people want this kind of attention and more intense. So
Nice.
we're going to do that, and then we're going to go to Mexico because I go. I'll be February in Los Barreles.
Okay.
That's where I go vacation like 3 times a year.
Nice. Yeah, you've mentioned something about that in your book. Like
Yes.
I'm in Playa del Carmen right now.
I'm
That's
over Playa
nice.
del Carmen. I'm going to go to Mexico City because I've never been there, and I'm going to do a
Yeah,
workshop there after my vacation in Los Barreles.
that's
Okay,
amazing. Let's get it all
you
set up
started
for
it
all
all.
comedians.
I feel your power.
Yeah, thank you, Judy. This was
Muchas
amazing.
gracias, mi amiga.
Gracias, Judy. We love you from Mexico
Ah.
and Colombia.
Oh, Colombia. I want to go there too. Let's do this. Let's do we're going to have the book published in Spanish by
Yeah.
February, and we're going to do this. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm a Colombian, but I live in Mexico.
Oh, okay. Well, let's figure out how to do this. Talk to you
Yeah.
soon.
Okay,
Okay.
talk to you soon. Bye, Judy.
Bye-bye. Well, I guess Beth is still on her meeting, but she All right. Here's where I just introduced Beth, and we're going to start all over again. Here we go. And you're
Everybody,
back. Okay, that was easy. Fix the problem. Yeah. Who runs the world? Girls. Okay.
this is what
So
people
I
couldn't
just want
see.
to get to something. First of all, you know how I found you, and you're a friend of mine. I guess my friend. Um, uh, anyway, how I found you was I said you need to laugh every 10 seconds, and my followers, being crotchety stand-up comics, who to anything I say they go bullshit. Right? You know that, right? They're comics. That's what makes us all comics, right? This bullshit, just like you did with the Ohio abortion law. Bullshit, women are
Yes.
going to jail, right? I mean, that's kind of like what makes us comics. And they suggested, so let's just clear this up once and for all, Beth. Those laughs that I did a clock, and no, it was 3 seconds a laugh and 10 seconds and
I'm so
applause.
impressed with, that you were able to do that. how you were able. I can't edit for shit, and I don't know how to do any of that. So good on you for being
Either do I.
technologically advanced.
I am not. I have Jackie Joy, who's fabulous and
Okay,
does
way to go,
editing for
Jackie
me.
Joy.
Yeah, what way to go? Yeah, she's excellent. No, but don't hire her though. I need her. So anyway, so what I was getting to is that people were saying that was edited. That was edited. Can you just clear that up once and for all?
Right. No, you just were showing a clip from the clip I posted from my HBO Max special, Girl Daddy, and I think that somewhat I like you were making the point that my writing is I try to I will say
Dense,
I
dense.
it's dense. Yes. I try to obviously write as many laugh lines as humanly possible. Like um I remember early days before I was a comic watching Last Comic Standing, and I remember Dat Fan was like tracking the laughs per minute, and I also remember thinking like that's a little too much, like like not in a judgmental way, but like I'm not going to do that way. It was just sort of like looking at comedy scientifically, and so much for me at that time, especially, was like I just want to have fun. I also didn't totally understand comedy. Like I thought I would never repeat a joke. I thought I would never. I really thought that. Um, I thought three things. One, I'll never repeat a joke. Two, never take a set list on stage. And three, I'll never hook up with another comic. And those things are all out the window.
All three?
Yes.
Oh my. Oh, we could talk about all three of those forever, especially the hooking up with another comic, waking up.
No, but
Did you end up with black and blue marks all over yourself going, listen to this one. Is this funny? Listen to right?
what do you think
Is
about
this
this? What do you think?
what
Or
do you think?
only doing things so that we could write about it. I'm like, sometimes you just need a vacation. I was always the comic in the relationship saying like sometimes you just need to live life. So
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about your creative process, okay? Because it is impressive. And I did something kind of technological. I have a transcript of your material from that little thing, and now I'm performing it on stage. No, I'm kidding.
I
And now,
love it. You're not the first. You're not the first to do that. There was a young comic whose podcast I did, and she said I've been doing that bit of yours on stage and it's killing. I was like, oh well, I was like, that's not what you're supposed to do, but I'm glad it's working.
when I taught comedy, some guy came up and a white guy came up and did an act. And I went, "That's Bill Cosby's act, word for word." Okay.
Was it just the Jello commercial? Anyway, okay, so you have a transcript, which
Okay,
I
yeah,
could have given
I
you.
have this. So I just want to
I
point
could have given you
something
that.
out. Um, so you're talking about abortion. You start the joke about something that's real in life. I love that you don't ever talk about I had an abortion or like you didn't need to personalize it because it's really about hitting the topic from all different angles. And I don't think a lot of women do that. A lot of women feel restricted that I'm going to talk about my boyfriend, my breasts, my sex life. And what do you think about that? And I think a lot of women get called soft. Their comedy is called soft. They're not hitting as hard as the guys are at the clubs. What do you think about that?
I think it's like so within our realm it's almost in our nature in my opinion, to not be narrow-minded. I think it's actually very I don't always want to make it about, men versus women, but I think a lot of white men in comedy tend to be more narrow-minded because they didn't have to walk around it all the way. Like it's oftentimes just because our culture in America is obviously, very homophobic, sexist, racist,
You
the
name
world
it.
is sort of made for a white man. And so they sort of tend to walk through the world, which is why I think a lot of white men comment on Instagram like, I don't like this. It's like, cool. Everybody else knows that they could just keep moving on with their life. I think a lot of people are used to like picking through the poison as opposed to acting like Caesar every day, like this pleases me or this doesn't please me. It's like, cool, just keep it moving. Like we're used to everything not being for us. So again, and I have a lot of privileges as a white lady in the first place, but I am used to picking through the poison. And ultimately, if my experience is to not have it always be made just for me, I'm used to looking at it from different angles. So instead of looking at something, pointing at it, and talking about what I see, obviously I think it's always the comics purpose to look at the topic or the object or whatever and walk all the way around it and think about it from different perspectives. Because even though I might think something about it, and this can get you in the weeds too, like you could maybe never write a joke if you think about something from everyone's perspective. I mean, I've had people, I still remember a comment from some guy about some jokes in Girl Daddy from HBO Max that called me heteronormative, which isn't just that I'm heterosexual. They're saying that I'm promoting a heterosexual lifestyle, which I would argue, if anything, I'm a cautionary tale uh, to not be heterosexual. But but to that point, I'm not going to write jokes. I can't say like a joke about whatever, kissing a guy and then be like, but it might be different if I was a girl kissing a girl, because I don't live that life. I can't write from the lesbian perspective just to include other people. So I think like, I guess this is a long way of saying like, yes, think about it from other people's perspective so you don't sound like a narrow-minded, completely untraveled dolt. You know, think
It's
about
kind
how
of
someone else might
narcissistic, I
experience
find.
it.
I
Yeah, it's
find that,
narrow-minded.
yeah, it's like I only can talk about something if it happened to me, which
Yeah.
I don't, and I think a lot of women aren't used to having their opinion mean something. And that's why I want to look at your opinion about abortion and how you wrote this material, because it's filled with amazing comparisons, right?
Thank
What you
you.
compare abortion to, when you said we're talking about women in prison, it's not like, I mean, I'm like, didn't she have an accomplice? And then you go to that, and then you talk about God just stopping at one kid. How did you get there? Like, how do you write your material? I mean,
Well,
it's
I will
such
say,
a jump, and I love the jump. And it's just people want to know, do you get the idea and then write it, or are you jamming with other people, or how are you working on it?
I'm more open to other people than I ever have been in my life because I'm 40. I used to be very lone wolf, don't watch any stand up, don't want to potentially like be influenced by anybody's personality or anything like that, and or have a joke come into my head because of someone else's joke. Like I was very like don't look. And now of course I'm exposed to stand up all the time. I've changed as a human being. I've found a, I've changed as a stand-up since I started. So I'm definitely more open to other people, but it's definitely I don't really sit down and write, and I don't write with other people when it comes to my stand-up. If I'm gonna take any feedback, it's because I've asked for it or someone I've trusted has been like can't has asked permission to be like, hey, can I give you an idea? And I think that's really important because you don't know where people are getting things. They could say like, oh, I have this idea for you, and they just saw it on the internet earlier. So I'm very limited in that way. Like I take great pride in still kind of just doing everything myself.
But
I
how
think
do you
that's
do it? Do you walk? Do you talk?
um
Do you have to
well,
be around people? Do you
to your
has to
point
be
of like the way I entered that joke, yes, is broad, but I am a very personal comic. Like I talk about my life. I'm not always I don't tend to be super topical or like I don't like read the news and then write my jokes. It
Mhm.
is certainly lived. And that particular joke, I wanted to reach a lot of people, but I'm certain I wrote that joke after having taken the abortion pill probably in like 2018. And then being from Ohio and my sister going through a pregnancy that she decided to keep, but knowing that that ban was happening around that time in 2020-ish. So knowing my sister was about to potentially be at risk with a wanted pregnancy, knowing that I had just taken the abortion pill, and being from Ohio, I was like that was the impetus at least for the joke.
But
And
that wasn't in the joke, was it? Or was it in
no,
before? So you
no.
cut out all that personal information, right?
Yeah, at the time. And since I've written jokes that are more personal about it, like when it comes to abortion, I have a joke that says like I was pregnant once, but I caught it early. So it's like, I've since written things that are personal to me about it. But at that time, I just felt like you change as a human being, like whatever you're living through, whatever your period of time is, like especially after Girl Daddy, because I felt like I turned a lot of my jokes in that special are based upon what was going on in the world, other men's specials that came out that were bothering me. Um, Especially a lot of the guys' reactions to Me Too. Like I thought they were so hacky and so unoriginal that inspired that material. It really bothered me. If I heard one more joke about a guy saying he's gonna have to have paperwork before he has sex now, I was like over it. So those were my frustrations that I did turn into material for Girl Daddy. And then after that special came out, like I'm very proud of my work in that, but I yearned to be more playful again. I was like, I'm ready to be sillier again. I want to get back to some of my storytelling. So yeah, there's always that ebb and flow of what's interesting you, what you're fascinated with what's cathartic for you to write about because you are frustrated. And to your point, like I think around that time I also watched Richard Pryor's like Long Beach set from like 68 or wait, what would it have been? I don't know what year it was. Either way, and he's talking about police brutality, and that was frustrating to me to know that we were about that he talked about it then, and comics can shape conversation and make change, and yet here we are in 2020 dealing again with a brutal murder by police, and so of George Floyd. So that really was sad for me and disheartening. I wanted to write abortion. I wanted to write about it and make a change and have it make a difference. I mean, and I think that was just like a sad time for me, honestly, of being like, if what we write doesn't really change things, what's the point? But we can still try.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
It's just one of
know.
those.
Believe me, I'm that old that I mean, I
Yeah,
was doing abortion jokes in the
of
late
course.
70s.
And people like you and other women came before me paved the way for me to be able to have the courage to say it because it's not easy, especially for you back then. It wasn't easy, and it still wasn't easy even in 2020. Like it takes a certain like experience and fortitude and stuff to talk about certain things
But the way
knowing.
you bring up, how did this idea occur to you? It's like when you're eating in a restaurant and hey, do you want to take the leftovers home? Well, I would take the leftovers home, but I don't have a fridge, right? Well,
Well,
then why did you put it in the box? And it's just how does it, I mean, it's just one double entendre after the
yeah,
next. That's
I
friggin' this,
love
or
that.
the beer, or the what was the beer thing? What was the beer
Oh,
joke?
right. I feel
It
like
was
guys are more careful pouring a beer than they are with their jizz. And that's
yeah.
another double entendre with the
Oh,
head
with the
thing.
head, right? Pouring a beer, then you are. Uh-oh, just too much. Uh-oh, too much head, said no guy ever. Um, right, it's so funny.
Thank
But
you.
how
I
did
guess
it
the
come?
process
Like,
in writing that was like a lot of trial and error. And like I told you, I don't love feedback from comics I don't trust, but I was working that joke out in Vermont, Burlington at Vermont Comedy Club.
mm-hmm,
And I
I
remember
know
my
that
opener at
place.
the time was like when I was discussing and working out the metaphor of what it like because you have to wrap your mind around something and sometimes it's confusing. But I forget exactly the feedback my opener gave me at the time, but she was like, wouldn't it be like something along the lines of like I forget, I wish I could remember the exact note she gave me, but that was the only time I was like, yeah, you can let me know how it's coming across because sometimes what makes sense in your head is not making sense to everyone else. And that is when you can rely on somebody you like or trust to give you that, like, I think this is what you mean, you know? And that's hard to see when you're the one
I
writing it.
love that. I love that. This is what you mean. It's like taking what you're saying and what you mean and then pushing a little farther, another metaphor, another metaphor. I
Yeah.
just love that. And what you're saying, I want everybody to hear this, is that let's say you get a laugh and you have a joke there's always more meat left on the bone. You know,
Yes.
don't leave it on the bone. And when you're working on it, I always I don't know. Gary Shanley, who's a good friend of mine, said this that I always develop my new material in between jokes. Like I'll do a joke, it gets a laugh, and then I leave that space to see just what occurs to me to say, and then that becomes part of the act, and then more space
The
after that
laugh,
joke and
the
see.
laugh is the pillow or the foam pit. Like that's where you get to go like I'm so like that's the comfort and the play. So when
Yeah.
you can, that is where you play in the pockets of that. And obviously that's like where there's nothing better when a crowd that's like there to have fun, receptive. That's when you feel safest and right. I write on stage. Um, so that and I listen back to my sets to see what I riffed. So that's my process
Did you hear that,
is
everybody? Record your set. Listen back to it. What could be
yeah.
different? Time your laughs. How do I get to it quicker? Right?
Yeah. And sometimes, like I've also listened to a friend because, repetition is a tool, right? And sometimes you need it and it works. Like I don't just say my one-liner. I usually repeat the first three words of my one-liner. So I'll say, I left uh I left my boyfriend I left my boyfriend at home with the kids. They're his kids from a previous marriage. So it's like I'm if because especially if they're getting used to how I'm talking and how what they're receiving, I need to like give them the on ramp.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
will repeat things sometimes and ultimately I do write on stage. There are times where I'll think of an idea and sometimes I'll voice record it or I'll write a few words of it down in a note. But mostly if I think of something, it's trying it on stage, hearing how it went, and then mimicking that exact wording, whether it's grammatically correct or not.
yeah. So the writing down, do you ever write down or you just record, say it,
I do. Yeah, I'm
and then
trying to
you
think. I
end
don't
up
think I have anything with me right now. I almost always have a set list with me, but like,
you
yeah,
travel with set lists.
I'm sure I took it out right before I came into Mosaic for this meeting. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I am someone who I headline and I have like a little piece of paper with my set list. Because there's usually something I want to slip in, so I'll write that word that I'm trying to try.
Yeah.
Um, but and I would have had that set transcribed because usually if I'm getting ready to film, um, that's when I transcribe the set fully. So I have Girl Daddy like fully transcribed somewhere. And I remember I was pretty meticulous about that special. I and the special after it probably less because I had less time to prepare and it was a little more. But with Girl Daddy in particular, I was also listening back and taking out like and putting the word said. So I would make myself say she said, he responded,
It
instead
was
of
like, I want to
and he
go
was
there. It
like,
was,
and I was
she said,
yeah,
oh, yeah. So,
yeah.
it's like haiku poetry, isn't it? It's like every word matters.
Yeah,
So,
and also just the reality is women are way more criticized for using the word like. Someone like Jacqueline Novak leans into it, has a whole joke about it on Netflix, and she just posted the clip of it like yesterday, like talking about the word like and using it, and she has a metaphor specifically, which is the joke. But I know that women are harshly criticized, especially on stage, if we say that word a lot. So I purposely took them all out as best
well,
I could. Sometimes
you,
colloquially, it does sound better. It flows better when you say, he was like, so it's not that I never do it, but if I can remove it, I will. But you can listen to a guy's set and he says like all the time. You just don't hear it.
somebody said something so funny. Skier Jason said, "This is such a fast-moving analysis, Beth. I'm so glad you're wearing your seatbelt."
Jason is
Hilarious.
it. Jason
I
is
just
great
want
at the
to. I know
experience.
you got to get off and go camping. So, at,
For
which
not for the material, for the experience.
for parents, you're going camping. Oh my gosh.
No,
Anyway,
I'm going.
well,
I'm going with my boyfriend and his
oh,
kids.
oh, okay. In a tent.
No, he has a trailer that the truck pulls.
Oh, a trail. Now it's gonna get.
So we'll have a bed.
And we have concierge service and a cook. It
Yeah,
keeps
no.
getting more and more
It's not glamping,
posh.
but it is a
Glamping.
full-size bed. Yeah.
Glamping. Okay.
Trailer.
So, where are you going? You going to Yosemite?
No, we're going like near Santa Barbara
Oh, cool.
on the
Okay.
beach. Yeah.
Well, we're in Oprah's backyard, actually, in Montecito. Anyway, okay, so I just want to say, can you leave everybody with just any kind of, like, a lot of them are just struggling through the open mic scene. There's billions of comics now. Any just last words before you go off to give my people?
Yeah, we're all struggling, and sometimes people will ask, like obviously there's the beauty and the mess of the internet. It's that we don't have really many gatekeepers anymore, which means there's more opportunities for people who aren't just able to be in New York or LA and aren't just a particular type. Whether that's like the white guy, whatever it is, the white woman, the black guy, however the order of their attention goes when it comes to gatekeeping. So that's the beauty of it. Anybody has access to an audience, and that's also the mess of it, which is an overflow in the palm of your hand. There's all these micro universes. I could name somebody right now who's my favorite singer who has 5 million followers, and you'll go, who? So that's
Yeah.
the trouble. But also all you can do, I think, is what's within your control. And that would be like finding joy. And I think the main headline for me is do what you think is funny and the right people will find you. It's not about, at least, obviously that's very converse to what people do to get attention on the internet,
And
by
that's
the way.
why we have so many dick jokes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's tough because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are following the trends and what's going to get attention, and I can find the joy in that too if that brings you joy. I'm just saying, like, ideally you're doing what you think is funny,
What
and
you think is funny.
that's what will help the right people find you, because
Yes.
that's who you want to look out. If I start sticking stuff up my butt on camera, and then or like whatever, lighting things on fire, I'm thinking of Jackass, which I love, by the way, but I'm just saying, if I started doing that and then I looked out in the crowd, it's like, is that my people? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like if I think similarly, like Nicole Byer faced this. She got popular for Nailed It, right? And a lot of kids watch that show. And then if a kid was to come see her live stand-up show, and in her own words, she's up there talking about whatever, her pussy, well, that's incongruent, right? So it doesn't mean she should have never done Nailed It. I'm merely saying what you get popular for is not always maybe your voice. So make sure if you have control of what you get popular for, it's in line with your comedic stand-up voice. If people are paying to come see you do stand-up, is all.
Oh, that is really great to be congruent with what you're putting out
Yeah,
and have it be for the people you love, like the audience to connect with. Because I think ultimately it's really about connecting with a niche of people who just love you, and it's not about becoming famous anymore because that is become even if you hit it, it's hard to
right.
sustain.
Sustain or stay, and just and like, if I've learned anything from writing on television or writing for celebrities or writing for more famous comics, I'm not saying that they're all insecure or something, but there will always be someone bigger or someone who got something they wanted, or my house has a river behind it, but they have a lake. Like, it'll never be enough. So,
Hilarious.
you just have to. I look out at my crowds and I feel grateful for them.
Who is your crowd? Who would you say?
I'm in that realm of comics that the staff at the comedy club says, we love your crowd and thank you, because they didn't, like, barf and piss everywhere
Are they
or
mostly
destroy
women,
things.
or do you have more?
I am if you look at my, somebody, I did some Illuminati meeting and they showed me my stats, and
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 split of men and women.
I was shocked to see my stats that there are more men than women and more African American men than women. And I went, oh my God, that's why
Yeah,
I'm
it's
asked to be the
interesting.
keynoter at the Black Comedy Convention. Oh,
Yeah.
It's so funny how where you hit. Anyway,
Yeah.
I love all my followers, and I love you for coming on to
Of
my Insta
course.
Live. This was so much fun. Wendy Liebman was the person I couldn't get out of my
Oh,
mouth.
incredible. Props
Yeah,
to
I want to
Wendy.
get her up here. She's just amazing. And I love Dayton, Ohio. I always do the Irma Bombeck Festival
Oh,
there.
very cool. I'll have
Yeah,
to
at
try
the
to do that sometime. I
university.
know of it, but I haven't ever done it myself.
Oh,
So,
they should have you.
yeah, I would love
Oh,
to
they would
sometime.
love you. What's not to love?
Well,
Anyway,
thank you.
thank
Your
you so
book, and
much.
also your book, I'm sure I bought it when I was like 17 or something.
The Comedy Bible.
Yeah. Or whatever it was that I bought. I remember being like, I knew I wanted to do stand up, and seeing that and seeing your face, and it all makes it possible when you see a gal, that's telling you that you can do it, and it's all part of it. So, thank you.
Ah, oh, thanks for saying that. All right, have a great trip and bring bug spray.
I will. I've already packed it.
All right, bye everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.